Now,
on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:36. In 30 minutes, we hand it over to Chris Plant, who will be wearing his shoes in studio, just so you know. I checked. Joining us right now. You have nothing to say.
I have nothing to say.
You're just holding your tongue.
Yes.
Julie Gun and your nose.
Yes.
Julie Gunlock is with us, and joining us right now is Brett Dasovic. He is the host of Tim Kest's Pop Culture Crisis Show. I get the sense that the whole Tim Pool crowd there, I mean, we're lucky that they have pants on, let alone shoes on in the studio.
I wear shoes. I've got shoes on right now.
Right now you do. But, I mean, when things start to loosen up toward the end of the evening.
But, you know, there are days I'll do the show in socks.
Me too.
That's the beauty of
no.
I don't have to work in an office. It's fine.
Right. Brett, when you go to the bathroom, though, do you put your shoes back on?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. There, I win. All right. Moving on.
Perfect. Yes.
Brett, it's always a great conversation with Brett until now. No, Brett's great, and his show, Pop Culture Crisis, over there on the Tim Pool Media Empire is very funny, very entertaining, and engaging. And you cover those. I envy you sometimes that you don't have to constantly talk news and politics. Although, let's face it, Hollywood certainly dabbles in their own political drama, and that's what we're seeing with Russell Brand right now. I'm sure you woke up to the same news that YouTube has now announced that they are completely demonetizing Russell Brand's channel, which has millions of subscribers, because of allegations made. He hasn't had a day. He denies these allegations. I mean, that's kind of scary that YouTube has that kind of power.
Oh yeah, like for me, when all of this stuff broke, look, this news broke on Friday of last week when he did his video basically announcing that, look, these allegations are coming. This is what's going to be happening. I can't really talk about it, but we're fighting it. And these types of cases, all of the cases that involve Me Too-esque allegations, are some of the hardest for me to want to discuss because at the end of the day, we don't really know. We're not going to really know. It's a he said, she said, and you want to be both simultaneously open to the idea of victims coming forward, which is, of course, it's a horrible thing for someone to have to go to. But here in America, we presume innocence until proven guilty in a court of law. But now in a day and age where you don't need to go to court to ruin someone's life,
yes.
I have a hard time with these types of cases because I don't want to seem unsympathetic to what somebody is going through. But now we're not even talking about that. We're talking about off-platform, third-party punishment for something that hasn't been proven in a court of law, and that should scare everybody.
And, Brett, it's hard to overlook the fact that, listen, 10 years ago, everybody knew. I mean, you look at the tabloids, you look at the Katy Perry marriage, and, I mean, he was a cad. He was an absolute cad. He's admitted it himself.
He did it on screen.
The difference here is that he's become really outspoken politically and in a political direction that, a lot of mainstream outlets are not comfortable with.
Yeah, the fact that he goes against mainstream narratives, especially in relation to big pharma and things like that, is certainly something to call into question for a lot of that. Another issue that I think that a lot of people have with some of this stuff is if you look into the case, there's a misrepresentation of evidence in which there's clearly doctored information regarding text messages. There's all sorts of the fact that I think a big part of it is the average person, a person who understands that in their life they wouldn't want to go through like something like this if they didn't actually do something, is that when most of the people coming forward are anonymous, it unfortunately creates a certain sense of doubt. And you don't want to feel that doubt. You don't want to believe that somebody is capable of stuff like this. But we don't live in a world that is so simple anymore that we can live by slogans and just take people's word for it.
People are definitely capable of lying.
I also will tell you that, now women are coming forward, it's been 10, 12, whatever years. And there is some, to me, frustration with airing this stuff after so long. And frankly, some of the allegations are things like, I felt bad after being with him. Yeah. That is not sexual assault. That is regret. And that is a very common feeling after you have shallow sexual relations with someone. So but that's all being piled into and made to kind of seem like that was a sexual assault. It just isn't.
Yes, and another thing that's happening is, look, when these things come forward, this was released by a media outlet, is it lumps in very, very serious crimes
Yes.
with things like he behaved badly at work,
Yes.
which is not the same thing, and if anything, that shines more of a light on the fact that the network he worked for didn't do anything in the meantime.
Listen.
And that's like I said, when all these things get put together, it's very scary for people.
Brett, you and Tim Pool out there, you guys are becoming really, really big, really huge, really influential. We will have your back when they come after you. I just want you to know.
Oh yeah. We'll have to when I'm in front of a Senate hearing, I shudder to think of what I'm going to be forced to talk about.
Shouldn't
It's
even
going to be horrible.
joke. We shouldn't even joke
no
about
kidding.
it. The writer's strike is it continues. Actors' strike is also going on. But what's going on now? With it? First, it looked like Bill Maher was going to come back with real time. Now he says he's not because of the negotiations. Drew Barrymore has also got her own drama where she announced she was going to, and then she was seen as betraying her fellow writers and actors. Where do things stand now?
Oh yeah, this is so. If depending on where you stand on unions, this is a very, very scary thing to look at. So if you look at Bill Maher, if you look at Drew Barrymore, also The Talk and Jennifer Hudson were all supposed to come back and then bent the knee. What you see is a lot of people who look absolutely terrified, which is rightfully so, meaning that people clearly have come to them. I don't know if you guys know what a night letter is, but it absolutely feels like somebody tacked or put a knife with a letter saying "do this or else" to their door. And if you read what Rosie O'Donnell said to Drew Barrymore, she essentially gave her very, very snarky orders on what she needs to do if you want to be able to work again in this industry. And that's the problem, right? These people, my issues with this is it denies our ability, our instincts for self-preservation to provide for us and the ones that we love, meaning that John Oliver has come back doing stand-up, and he's using that money to pay for, to pay into the union fund so that his workers can get paid. But not everybody wants that. Some people want to actually work to make their money, and they don't like the idea of having to be reliant on a large group to get through the day. And I find that behavior despicable on behalf of the unions. And I understand that, look, in other industries, whether we're talking electricians, there are places where people find unions to be viable options. But I think in Hollywood, all it does is contribute to this herd mentality that has sort of forced these actors and these writers to stop from being able to do anything in fear of never getting work again once things actually clear up. But I don't see that happening. It's very scary.
I, for one, am shocked to learn that Rosie O'Donnell can be an overbearing, obnoxious bully.
She's a bully?
Yeah,
Really?
there's never known.
That is absolutely shocking. Absolutely.
Hey, Brett, can you stay with us? Because there's a couple of other topics we wanted to bounce off you.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Only Brett stays with us for one more segment in a moment. It's 8:44.
What size feet do you have? Can I buy your shoes for him?
What kind of, what is it?
He needs a shoe.
Yeah, but what kind of shoe? What size?
10 and a half.
Oh, I'm 11. You want me to give it to
Yeah,
him? I can give it to him.
Can I,
Don't worry
can I
about
buy a shoe for him?
Actress Jennifer Garner there, caught in a candid moment on the streets
Sure.
of Santa Monica, supposedly purchasing a pair of shoes from a paparazzi. I thank God the paparazzi was there to capture this moment. It sounded like the dude was not really good with the lines that he was rehearsing, right?
it. What kind of, what is it?
So, Brett, do you think this was staged?
Look, she's from what I've seen before, she's posted videos of her and her kids, like videos on her Instagram. And I could be completely misremembering this, where they're packing those care packages.
Those little,
So whether in the world today, in a world where celebrities tell you to go out and do well and don't live by their own words, I'd like to believe that even if they have selfish intentions and it's some type of self-promotion, like if somebody actually got helped out of the deal, I guess I can't be all that upset by it.
Well, she does support Mayor Karen Bass, who's creating a situation in Los Angeles where there are more homeless people on the streets and that city's resources are overwhelmed. So one thing Garner could do is maybe not be so enthusiastic for Mayor Karen Bass.
A lot of times, I sometimes, actually most of the time, believe that they don't see any type of correlation between their
Right.
voting habits
Right.
and what actually happens in their cities. Whether that's because they're just they diehard believe in the politics that they support, or that they just don't see the connection because their support of it is only performative because they know that they're playing to the base of people that watch their movies and television shows. You know, there was a big thing last year. Was it Karen Bass, and who is it that she was running against?
The real estate developer
Yeah,
guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, and that became kind of a weird proxy war for because he was a Democrat too.
Yeah.
But it was more about like, look, he's pro development, he's pro this, he's pro that, and he seemed like the more rational candidate to a lot of people, especially given what's going on with the homeless crisis out there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this though, most of what those videos do more than anything is just make me very glad that I don't live in California.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Caruso, who would have been the better choice in that. Well, here's the thing.
That's who it is.
It's very sweet of Jennifer Garner to do this because Lord knows she has plenty of experience dealing with incoherent drunken slobs. She was married to Ben Affleck. Okay, Brett Dasovic, we got to leave it there. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Thanks,
Just
Brett.
gonna
Thank you
drop
for
that
having me,
grenade.
guys.
You betcha. Again, it's the Pop Culture Crisis Show on the Tim Pool Media Network. It's 8:52.